Whatever you
Call this
wish to
meeting
do.
to order.
I can hand it out.
At 8:30.
Whatever you let me know.
And first order of business is, we've got a quorum definitely. Welcome of guests and public comments. Beth McKenna is here from UREC and would love to tell us stuff.
All right. We're just trying to figure out the best way to present the information. Thank you, board
Okay.
members, for allowing us some time to speak. When we have information that we can get out to you about upstream things that are affecting the Rio Grande project, we try to do that.
Okay.
Okay. And so this is one of those cases. There are a couple of sediment plugs that have been forming in the river that were noticed at the end of July when they did a river flight.
You got it, looks like I bumped them out, sorry.
Is that something else?
Well, there's nothing bad about that.
There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so, we've
He's a
been
millennial.
monitoring,
He's probably a millennial.
yeah.
I think he's too old.
He's
Yeah, I am. He's in between.
No, he's in between. Sorry, but
That's okay, yeah, I'm sorry too. As you can imagine, we've been monitoring this water year because it's so different than what we've had in the past several years. And so we've had several occasions to take aerial flights, do surveys, and so forth. And so they've noticed two sediment plugs forming in the Middle Rio Grande project area. So this one is called the Delta Channel plug. If you all know where the narrows are, they're like around here, and then there's a geologic feature, I forget the name of it, and so the plug location is right here. It's about a mile long, and this one they're gonna go ahead and try to make, cut through the channel, and the New Mexico Interstate Stream Commission is taking the lead in this one with their contractor, Wilco. The second one is the larger one. This is the, when we say BDA, we mean Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge. This one is almost 3 miles in length. So Highway 380 is where you cut off to San Antonio to go get your owl green chili cheeseburger. And so the plug is down here, right within the Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge. What's interesting is these pictures were taken in April. This is the main channel right here, and you look at this loop. This is not uncommon that a plug is forming here. It's, it happened again in 2008, 2017. So consequently, we've had a plan for a larger fix in the works. It's called the Bosque del Apache Realignment Project. And so you can clearly see this is an old channel that we're trying to open up again. This is where we want the water to flow. There's a lot of constraints on this side, including the low flow conveyance channel. And so the plan for this one, because it's so long, the sediment is basically filling up this entire current main stem reach. But we want to cut an opening in the inlet and at the outlet in order to let the water start flowing through here. It's already been, the vegetation has already been removed, but phase 1 is going to include denuding the vegetation and grubbing more things out of there, so that we can hopefully let the water do most of the work and not have to go in there and cut a channel through either of these locations. So that's in the works. Reclamation is the lead for that project. We have a lot of compliance that's already completed for the realignment portion. And so that's helping us kind of fast track this thing with the Fish and Wildlife Service. We have a biological opinion in place. We're updating our 404 permit with the Corps of Engineers, and also our MOU with the Fish and Wildlife Service to conduct the work. So for both of these things, we anticipate that it would start in early September. These pictures, moving back south to the first flood that I showed you. So this is the top of the plug, the end of the plug. This is the one that's a mile long, and they're just going to excavate a channel through it. And again, that's ISC and their contractor. And you can keep all of these. I'll give you copies of all these pictures. The BDA plug pictures, we have a little more detail. So this is the realignment part. You can see the overbank flows are already wanting to go in there naturally. And so the sediment is pretty much blocking all of the current main stem channel. And this is where we are trying to get the flow going. This is the outlet, I believe. And so that's what would be excavated as part of this phase 1. This is just a different view of that same area, where this is the realignment channel on this side, and then the main stem with a lot of sediment building up, as you can see. And this one is showing the beginning of the plug.
So that's the inlet side, I think, right? And then the previous one you showed was the outlet?
Correct. Sorry if I misspoke on that, yes. There's a lot of information in the captions, but we'll make sure you're getting oriented properly. Again, main stem, oh sorry, no. Yes, main stem here. We have the direction of the realignment, and this is the north end of the plug. So again, just to kind of facilitate the occurrence of these projects, we're relying on existing compliance. We're not attempting any channel excavation through either of these sides, because eventually, for the realignment project, we want the channel that's currently the main stem to fill with sediment, and we want the realignment channel to be open and be accepting of the flows that are coming down for delivery. So beginning of September is when they anticipate this work, and we will be planning with all of the agencies when we start making release at the end of irrigation season, when we start making compact deliveries to Elephant Butte. We want to coordinate those flows and those rates and make sure that we're making the best use of the water and can hopefully have the water do a lot of the sediment removal for us once we get the inlet and the outlet open.
So basically what you're going to do, try and do is create a new main stem over there, right?
And it's just really opening up an old historic channel where the river used to be. Yeah, I think the engineers have learned it, and I can say this because I'm not an engineer. They're just, you don't want to fight the river. You want to try to facilitate where it wants to go, and that's what's happening here. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll let you get on about whatever your business is. Or
Okay.
all right, any other comments from the public? Anybody? No?
I can say.
Okay. Next, let's go to the minutes from our last meeting. And Adriana's got us the pieces of paper right here. Should have been handed, yes. Okay.
At the top, under El Paso County Road Improvement District #1. The defined term that we've got in here is EPCWID 1 or L, and we've always used just EPCWID.
Okay,
And of course, you can, define term, you could call it spotted leopard if you want to.
Right.
But the more common use that you find in briefs and pleadings,
okay.
I've been looking at a lot of briefs that Maria sent me that have been filed in, before our special master. And I would recommend deleting that 1 RL, whatever it is. And just use the term EPCWID.
Okay. What about the parentheses on either side of that, does that matter?
Well, that's the way you show it as a defined term.
I mean,
The parentheses are the quotation marks.
the quotation marks, excuse me.
Well, I don't think they hurt anything, I think you're fine.
Okay. You do? Yeah, it's not a, okay, Adriana, did you get that? Okay. These minutes just been handed to you, y'all wanna glance quickly and see if you see anything that you don't remember? Or that we got it wrong? Anybody see anything? If not,
Give me 2
give me a
seconds.
second, you got it. Well, it's one thing, Adriana, that be sure that Johnny came back out of closed session quicker than I did come out before.
Mr. Omby, I do have a correction on the minutes.
Okay,
The adjustment of the taxes, the county of El Paso trustee to Mr. Sylvia, there are actually 2 adjustments. We have to remove 1998 through 2013 tax assessment,
okay,
and then we have to bill the 2017, there was a prorated share.
all right, so how would you change that on?
There should be actually 2 entries here, not this one.
All right, where it says, now therefore be resolved that the adjustments correction 2018 tax road trustee Antonio Zubian and Eugene Barth have been reviewed during the month of June and are approved, as shown as B. Why is that B?
B is for information purposes.
Oh, okay, all right. So,
So actually, there was 3 adjustments that month.
so give me the wording, Rose.
Okay, so then
Whichever.
It's item,
it would be
number 5A.
8. So the first adjustment,
Page 2 and page 3 of your current minute. Okay,
so the first
What we
adjustment
changing?
would be 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 12, and 13 tax assessment, water delivery charges, accounting service charges, and penalty matters.
Why don't we get Rose
What?
to
Yeah.
just put that, enter the correction, you guys will approve that, so that she can work good, right?
Yeah.
And then again, and, at the top of 3, you've got the defined term, and you've got the 1 or the L there, and that should be taken away.
Yeah, we'll get that corrected throughout the entire minutes, and then
Yeah.
with the changes, if you guys approve it with
Yeah,
the
that-
changes that Rose is requesting, which are just reflecting her report,
Right.
which we can attach to the minutes if we need to.
All right, Mike moves to approve those changes, and Rose will work on those and get those
Yes.
changes correct.
Yes.
Okay, second? Larry seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Now, any other corrections anybody see? Jim, Maria, any of the board members?
Move to approve the minutes as
I have a motion to approve the minutes as corrected. Do I have a second? Jordan seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Mary's up.
Sorry, on the investment report, I did receive a couple of weeks ago an email from the Treasury stating that they resumed the sale of the securities, and it is open up until July 31st, 2021. So we will be able to purchase,
The treasurer.
correct.
I was hoping we purchased them before this last week.
Yeah, so we're a little behind the curve, but.
Oh, gone.
It's-
That's all right. There's
We're in a
still-
race to the bottom right now.
That's all right. We're still better than the CD, so. Okay, so you're gonna be reviewing that and we'll
Yes, sir.
let us know next month.
Correct.
Okay. Gentlemen, you got anything on the financial report there or the balance sheet? Or the financial statement?
And the financial statements, we are 3 months away from closing our fiscal year. We seem to be doing well on our income. We're looking to surpass the amount that we have budgeted, and keep below our expenses.
That's always a good
job.
thing. Very good. Good job. So this financial statement is July 31. So the only thing different between Johnny likes that cash and the accrual is on the income side, and it's only a few, $30,000.
As the months go along, they should match
They
up.
should, yeah. But on our expense side, we're already tied up there.
We don't do the cash, we don't do the cash on the expense.
There you go.
No.
Well,
Can't do it
oh,
on,
yeah, okay.
can't do it on the expense, because we have obligations that show up, like invoices that we're gonna pay, and
Wait a minute. You can show it for our financial statement, can you not?
I can't do the cash on, I can go through the
On
reasons
expense?
why we can't do a cash basis on
Okay.
expenses.
So that column is really a duplication of the accrual
I didn't know there was a column for cash on.
on expenses, yeah, but it's basically, it's just a repetition of the accrual.
Correct.
Okay. So we can scratch that off.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, so if you want to get real, with your spreadsheet, go
I think
to
there's
all
actually-
that trouble if you want, and if
Yeah.
not,
On
we'll
the
just,
columns,
okay, I'm
correct.
glad you said that.
Yeah, sorry, they're exactly the same.
Yeah, then they should. Okay, and then on the income side, as Al said, they're getting closer and closer as we come in. We're only 3 months shy.
I was surprised they were that close this month.
Yeah, I was, because last month it was quite a discrepancy, I don't know.
But we get all our, well, it's everything sort of geared that way.
Yeah. Larry, George, got anything?
Oh,
Al?
well, I'm all right. I was just wondering on some of the budget, we haven't amended the budget in a while.
No, we have not. And we're also in the process of working with management on the proposed budget for the next year, and should be coming up within the next month or two.
Okay.
But even on our budget for this year, it's gonna need, obviously, we always reconcile it towards the end of the year, but
Yeah.
normally we do an amendment sometime around here, because some things have changed in the budget, so. That's not, the budget's just a management tool, it's not
Right.
a hard number.
Okay. No questions? Mary, what do you got next? 500?
500.
500 check. I was just curious, because I haven't heard, who is Wex Bank?
That's our fuel, A-Long,
Was that Elon?
yes.
Just backing up a little bit to income statement, just to let you guys know that our revenues will be significantly higher than that. There's some that aren't reflected in the budget or the accrual basis right now, so because we haven't generated invoices, right?
Correct, only 2001.
Which is good news.
That's excellent. She said expenses are gonna be less and income's gonna be more. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
But
Thank you, Warder.
Mary had hoped to generate the accrual side of it yesterday, and I think we didn't get around. Well, this report comes out prior to the end of the month, so
Right.
it'll reflect in the next month. And then we should have an appropriate budget change to show the additional income. What are we even, it's about $1 million more? Is that what we expect? Or 1.5?
No, we have some invoices that will reflect this
It'll
fiscal.
reflect, it'll all have to do on this, so it'll be quite a bit. Actually, we're still working with the city on those invoices. We'll know, we meet with them on Thursday on trying to finalize those numbers.
Okay. Why should we?
Wagner, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, no, go ahead.
The, item about 5 down, what, a cylinder for Unity 7, what is that? What are they talking about? What's Unity 7, an excavator or something?
Yes, sir.
It's a
Ten
hydraulic
inch,
cylinder, must be a big one.
Yeah, one of the long reaches.
Oh, is that what it
Grinder
is?
cylinder on the arm.
I had a question on the Alamo Artery. I see Bluetooth installation for all new Ford trucks. They didn't come with the Bluetooth already in it?
They didn't.
They did.
No.
People got tired of running a little wire.
Okay. But, yeah, Robert found a Bluetooth that would match with our phones.
Okay. Great. How many trucks was that?
7.
7 of them?
And he got 4 this year. I wasn't too thrilled about that.
Well, I'm just surprised because, you know, nowadays every new vehicle you get's got a Bluetooth thing on it.
We're getting the basic fleet model, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's state purchase and they were a little bit.
Basic. Yeah, some of the things, you have to roll down the windows like what?
Vinyl seats and vinyl floor.
And yeah, stick your hand out.
And amazingly, GMC and Chevrolet didn't make any long beds, right, Robert?
Right.
That's why we had to settle on Fords. And because for the ditch riders, it's important that they have a long bed for their tools and,
Is it?
yeah, for their cheater bar and for their
Long weed hook.
weed hooks.
Makes it hard to turn on some of those little laterals though, you know?
Yeah, well, they make it all right.
Yeah, they do okay. It's the one wheel float, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why on my farm, I got rid of all the, I got tired of pulling in and out, little laterals there. So it just got better driving.
Before we were young, they had the Datsuns, remember?
Oh,
And Datsun pickups.
That didn't
They were
work
still
out.
called Datsuns,
Mhm.
but it wasn't because of their performance, right? It was because it was foreign at that time.
Yeah.
How about about 3/4 of the way down, what are hook replacements? On a backhoe, a hook replacement, what's that?
It's the locking device that keeps the backhoe from coming down.
Yeah.
It's a hook that locks onto the boom itself.
And is Canex like a machine shop, or is it a replacement item?
No, it's a replacement item.
That happen a lot?
Actually, it's a first.
I think it's the first one we've.
It's a first, yes.
But it's an important piece because it
Oh, yeah.
locks the boom.
Yeah, it's a safety device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't know the old stuff I use, I have to get a chain and hook it around. And that works.
AT&T main line, what is that? That's for
It's our T1 that comes into
for the office?
This is a district office, all from one.
Is that a yearly charge or a monthly charge?
Nothing.
That's like one line, 2 lines?
It's a T1.
Oh, it's great big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's everything.
in other words, it's instantaneous.
Oh,
It's for all, how many, what do we have, 48 plus faxes?
Plus fax. Correct.
But you can dial direct to people's,
It's probably multi-gig in, and then,
no, that's well, it is digital because everything's digital, but, it's where the internet's off of fiber optic from Time Warner, isn't it? Or whatever it's called, Spectrum,
so is it in the Austin, Texas class?
our fiber.
Well, in the speeds.
Yeah, it's 1 gigabit, isn't it? It's a
1
high
gig?
speed, that's a business line.
50 meg, for internet.
And we
For internet, it's
upgraded it when, last year?
No, it's not Austin speeds.
Where was it? Well, I have a son who moved from Austin here last year.
He's
and he was-
complaining.
No, he was getting, I mean, it's phenomenal what they're talking about. He was getting something like 5 gig in and 1 gig out.
Where is that?
I mean, it was like instant.
10 and 5,
And he's on the outskirts of Austin.
10 and 5 upload. It's Spectrum with the
But
internet.
we're not Austin.
It's on the next.
No, that's what I mean. That's why I was curious.
For the whole building, we're about 1/10 of that, so that's all right, it's still pretty good.
The internet is on the next sheet. The internet bill.
Internet bill's on the next sheet.
That's Spectrum.
Spectrum,
How much is it?
which is Time Warner now, right?
660 a month.
660.
Yeah, he gets all that, he gets 10 times as much for 1/10 the price.
Yeah.
So, but you gotta deal with
Yeah.
we're lucky to have fiber.
I know somebody here else that lives in Austin, and he gets spoiled.
Everything's,
He gets very spoiled.
everything's instantaneous, you come here and you start,
Yeah.
especially with this legal stuff that Maria and I are doing, I'm moving, huge amounts of data,
Yeah.
and it only takes, I
Pretty
can move over to some of the servers we're working with, a gigabyte every 3 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty fast. Maria, how about up and down?
Not like that.
I like
Oh,
it.
I care.
Good, yeah. Okay, got off the page here. Anything else on that $500 report? Okay. Mary?
And we have a last, final to report the credit card and the legal and consultants.
Credit report and the legal and consulting. Mary, your miscellaneous on your credit card is?
Those were the purchases of 6 umbrella tripod stands.
Uh-huh. Okey-doke. Any other questions for Mary?
What's professional development on the credit card report?
That's when we send our employees to special training, like our safety guys, or Peter and Robert and I will take a trip to a conference.
And you got them separated, 2 of them under Lisa and Mary.
Yes, it depends on the other person who is making the initial purchase. We will have-
They're the only 2 that'll make the reservations.
That's all
and-
per diem,
Yeah.
travel and all that
Correct.
stuff.
Correct.
And how often are these meetings?
Well, it depends on the training that we want to send them to. We usually budget for them at the beginning of the year, like our safety guys, we want to keep them going every year to get updated, and Jay's two inspectors, we send them to different conferences.
And on the expense thing here, that would be reflected by what name?
What do you mean in the budget?
Investment report, it's under the professional expense account 61402.
Which we're under budget right now, which we didn't have to point out to you guys, so, just because we're under budget.
Lisa and Mary just went to a special training also for our retirement,
Our new retirement.
our new retirement system. They were in Austin for almost a week, I guess.
That'll show up on the next.
Prior to that, they also went to an HR conference.
One of the things that I've always instilled or promoted was the continuing education for our staff and for our CPR, financial, and CFO, and our operations manager, Lisa. I promote that, and if you got the ability to go, I always encourage it.
Yeah, part of it's mandated by law.
Right. I know some of Mary's is mandated, and
And the
Right, the
safety,
investment policy.
investment.
OSHA stuff's not mandated, but there's no way around it. It's
Right.
really mean compliance.
We can list them by name as to who's going to do that.
No, I'm just, after working in schools all this time, you wonder,
No,
are they going to these things?
No, we keep pretty good track. We're
We
not,
try to keep
we're
them
not
in.
superintendents.
Yeah, we have, there's no trips to Mexico. Yeah,
No first class on a plane?
No, no,
They're all discounted.
they're on top of it.
Make sure we don't miss the
We
World
play
Concert
Allegiant.
every year.
Yeah, Las Vegas is our exotic
They say Vegas,
location.
I said World Concert.
Rose is
Actually, that's the cheapest place to go. It's cheaper to go
Rose is
to Las
attending
Vegas
a
than it is Austin.
conference next week in San Antonio. No, 2 weeks.
Sonia and I.
Sonia and her, that's, important to them on their tax rules.
No Hawaii
Well,
trip.
like you said, I know a lot of them are mandated, anyway.
Yeah.
We keep pretty good track of it, and we don't abuse it.
No, I'm just trying to learn.
No.
Well, we appreciate that, George. Any other questions? If not, Rose?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's dark. It's dark. I have a few adjustments.
Okay.
We'll start with the first one, under construction control. This is an actual right-of-way leading to Lancaster Unit Number 2 subdivision. This subdivision was started out in the 1970s, early 70s. And the reason you'll see that there's an adjustment only starting 2001 to 2018 was that the water rights had been released to the Public Service Board. If you recall, the special delinquent contracts had been void and terminated. So we started building taxes. And what happened here, we were going to turn over this account to the attorneys for collection, and they can't find construction control. So it was given back to me, doing research. I went through not only the subdivision plan, central appraisal records, the city's website, the Bureau records, sustained land records. This is where we found out that 3300s was a right-of-way dedicated to the city. And on the Bureau records, instead of having a right-of-way, they classified it as SEC land, which is subject to construction charges, which is taxable. So we need to remove it. It's a right-of-way
Okay,
going into a subdivision.
so that's why. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're looking at $602.75.
Over
That
how
would
many
be-
years? That's
That
not
would be
much.
2001 through 2018.
Wow, okay.
It's right-of-way in what sense?
It's a dedicated right-of-way by the city of El Paso to
Tax
the
exempt.
entrance of Lancaster Unit Number 2.
Well, see, even though it's dedicated, we may still have water, rights to control water, irrigation water in respect to that acreage.
Yeah, it's just
Yes.
three, we're handling it the way we do all of
Yes.
these. It's just one that they missed.
Mhm.
This is very
It was
consistent with all
classified,
our
and
land
now that we got to
trusts.
the attorneys, that was given.
The
back to us.
misclassification is all.
Okay.
Okay.
The second parcel under Madrid, the property was sold in a tax resale. We got the payment in July, but this was taking place in June. So we need to remove 11 cents of penalty and interest.
So we probably give you a sweeping resolution to handle anything under
Mayor, use
$100.
the budget to handle that. We're good?
We've got to
That
bring it up.
contingency plan?
I think state law allows $5, something like that, to be de minimis, you don't have to, doesn't take board action to take care of postage stuff.
The next two parcels under Garcia and Crest, these are two tracts that the city of El Paso, through its water utilities, acquired. On the corner, there's a booster station, the Lindbergh booster station. These two parcels are adjacent, and they were acquired to extend the station. Therefore, we need to prorate the taxes. And this is gonna be only for the 2018 taxes. The first one for Mr. Garcia, we're looking at removing $28.51. And the second one under Crest, we're looking at $26.89. So we're looking at a total adjustment of $658.26.
Okay. It's a negative adjustment to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the changes in the assessment and allocation charges?
So moved.
Second. Larry moves and George seconds.
Thank
All
you.
those in favor signify by saying aye. Okey-dokey.
Our next report is for information purposes. We can update how we are working with El Paso Public Service Board and the Lower Valley Water District. And the last one is where we're at on tax suits.
Close for it.
Yes, sir. Four. Do you have any questions?
No, just like Lower Valley dropped out of July again,
Yes, sir.
come and go, but they're doing better than they used to.
But they are, yes.
They had a good start and then
Well, what's gonna happen now, yes, there were no leases. I know that they're working on actually 3 subdivisions, good sized ones. So they're in process of those. Small ones are not coming in, but we have gotten word from Mr. Grijalva that they are working on the program, which is gonna be a loan to the property owner. The way it's gonna work, it's, the loan's gonna be between 1 to 3 years, and there's a percentage. If you wanna assign your water rights to Lower Valley Water District, you apply for a loan, and they'll put that amount on your water bill. So on a monthly basis, you're gonna be paying your water bill plus the loan. Lower Valley Water District is gonna pay us for the wells.
Okay. Sounds
So
like-
that amount should increase not only in leases, but in taxes.
So that's the way they figured out how to go back and
So
just.
they're buying surplus water from the district, from our district.
Surplus water?
No,
No.
That's not
What are they
surplus water.
getting?
They're gonna be receiving.
they're getting water assignments.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
water
assignments.
Leases,
Leases.
in accordance with 1988, this Lower Valley?
Yes, Lower Valley,
Yeah, 1988 contract leases.
for a period of 75 years.
And somehow they figured out legally how they can put that on their bill.
Yes, sir. It took some time, they went through their legal department and
That's up to them. It's not-
Yeah, that's up to them. We're
Doesn't have any effect on
Sure,
us.
it's just
We tried to,
interesting.
we tried to get them to do what El Paso Water was
Yeah.
doing, but they decided
They
to go
found this other
this
way.
way. Yeah,
Okay.
That's-
Well, that's all right, it's still all right for us.
yeah,
so that's not, no leases, but they're coming in.
solves the issue.
For us, yeah.
Very good.
If there's no questions, we'll go to our next report, also for information purposes. August 2018, we had collected 98.2277%. August 2019, we're at 98.5436%.
Hey, hey,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
you're almost to that November figure
I
of
know, I
last
saw that, I saw that. And that's all I have on Any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Rose? If not, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Rose.
Thank
You
you.
did a great job, especially tracking down that first thing, sounds like. That first adjustment
Thank you.
this month. All right, general manager's report.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up here today.
You have a mouse?
Yes, please.
They close, I don't know why you guys press the button there.
So before I get started, I'd like to go to item C, since Yvette's here, and, you know, we applied and got a grant to concrete line a little over 4 miles, 4.6 miles of the east side, La Union East, which is a thorn canal for Robert. We lose a lot of water through there and all that. So here recently, within the last week, we got a $75,000 grant approved by the Bureau of Reclamation to do all the engineering and design for that canal. So we're moving right along with that, and I wanted to thank Yvette for her help. I've been able to send Omar to visit with Yvette in Albuquerque and work on the grants, and she's given him some ideas since she's got a lot of history on grants. So she's helped us tremendously, so I just wanted to give her a thanks for all your help.
Well, thank you for being proactive and trying to improve the system, and I have information on 2 new funding opportunity announcements that I can leave with you. You probably got it by email, but
Yes,
these are the synopsis that are easier to hand out and manage.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So we're moving right along. What I wanted to show you today is we've been working on another grant through the NPO that's TxDOT funded. It's an important project because it'll solve a lot of problems for us, concrete lines, some of our Franklin Canal. Plus, there's a big push by the Medical Center of the Americas, as you all know, to beautify that area right in here, all this. And so along with that, I made a couple of meetings with them, and of course they had a lot of ideas of what to do with our Franklin Canal, which I had to pull the reins back on them and say, no, we'll handle it. So Omar and I and Lisa went and met with TxDOT. They have a $1.3 billion grant that's coming up that is being endorsed by TxDOT that we apply for, and it'll be for concrete lining the Franklin Canal, and it'll be, here's the zoo area, here's our Franklin Canal coming underneath the north-south freeway, and so it would start here, and eventually phase 2 would end right there. This would be phase 1, and it would be concrete lining the channel, and at the same time beautifying the banks where our canal would become probably maintenance free. And I'll show you some of the area and the problems that we have there that Pete faces there.
You know, it goes right in the middle of the zoo, right?
Yes,
Yeah, right through the middle.
this part here is right in the middle of the zoo to the first bridge, and I've gone, Omar and I, we went and met with the zoo, and they're looking at funding. I made them an offer of, hey, find the funding and we'll concrete line this area here, and then I can go back to the board and maybe do something with the banks. And they've got some ideas that they want to do with the banks. And I don't know if you all have gone to the zoo. The zoo is on both sides of our canal now, and I told them, I said, as long as you don't interfere with the operations and our water, we can work something out, especially if we can concrete line that area.
Remember years ago, too, they were talking about box culverts around that curve?
Yeah, they did, and Al and I went and talked to them, and when they saw what it would cost,
They said,
they had $2.5 million funded at the time, but I think it was gonna be close to, what, $8 million?
No, it wasn't that much, it was, but they wanted the 2.5 million for their part of
For
it.
other stuff, yeah.
So anyway, I'm working on that, let me see.
Are we furnishing
There,
any water?
I'll just press, I'll do it for you.
Okay. This is phase one,
Wait, we have questions,
I
or?
have a question, though.
okay?
Going back just real quick. We're not furnishing them any water to the zoo? I mean,
No.
At all, it's just the water that's just bypassing
Correct.
their property. Okay.
Correct.
Very good.
We do have some issues with maintenance, and I guess Pete could answer those, that, you know, sometimes our men will find snakes and all kinds of other stuff that has escaped from the zoo. And,
Trying to make it
so,
a dashboard.
so, yeah, you'll see the pictures here in a little bit. But anyway, the first grant, phase one, is a $1.3 million grant, and we want your permission to go ahead and apply for it. It wouldn't take place till 2020, and we would have up to between 2023 and 2014 to finish it, to do it, and it would give Al trying to
2024.
engineer it.
Yeah, that's
Twenty-
Now, will they
2014.
be able to